Sudden death syndrome is caused by a soil fungus that infects the roots, and it produces a toxin that moves up the plant and causes leaf death. This year we've had particularly severe SDS due to a combination of early planting into cool, wet soils and also the continuation of a wet season with a wet July during reproductive stages that also is thought to favor the disease.
The symptoms of SDS affect the whole plant. First of all, if we look at the leaves, what happens is the tissue in between the veins starts to turn yellow, and we get these yellow patches throughout the veins. The yellow patches will extend and then eventually they'll die, so we have this brown tissue. And then just before the leaf dies, we'll be left with just very green veins of the leaf. Diseased leaves fall off the plant and we're left with the stem of the leaf or the petiole, which remains attached to the stem of the plant. The other thing that we see with SDS is we see severe root rot. Sometimes you might even see the blue of the fungus growing on the outside of the root. If you slice open the roots, you'll see that the inside of the taproot of the plant is discolored brown. It's not a creamy white color like you would see with a healthy soybean plant. There are a number of things you can do to manage SDS. The cornerstone of SDS management should be variety. There are varieties available that do have resistance to the disease, and so a grower would be advised to talk with his seed dealer and find out what varieties he can choose. The other thing that I would recommend is, at the moment, there are a number of variety demonstration plots all over Iowa. It would be a good idea for a grower who has a problem to go out to those demonstration plots and see which varieties are doing better against SDS than others. Other things that a grower can do is drainage management in his fields. So we talked about how very moist conditions are favorable to this disease. So improving the drainage in a field can help reduce the chance of this disease developing. Unfortunately, there are no seed treatments or fungicide sprays available at the moment that a grower can use to control the disease.
Here's maybe one, not that you can really see the. We did have the extreme weather with excessive amounts of rainfall, but we also see the disease moving north and west year to year, probably as a result of an increase of the pathogen density in the soil that's building up over the seasons. The SDS pathogen does not cause disease on corn. However, recent Chekhov-funded research here at ISU has shown that the fungus can survive in corn kernels and corn stalks, so this corn debris is likely to be allowing the fungus to carry over from one season to another. SDS is likely to affect seed quality, especially by reducing seed size, but the impact on yield will depend on how early the disease appeared during the reproductive stages of the plant. However, it is not known to cause seed storage problems as the fungus does not infect the seeds. There was a strong team of researchers at ISU, plant pathologists, agronomists, and soybean breeders that worked very closely together to try and find a solution for SDS management. This team also works very closely in collaboration with scientists in other institutions. And most of the research at ISU is funded by Chekhov dollars from states, regional, and national programs such as the Iowa Soybean Association, the North Central Soybean Research Program, and the United Soybean Board. Really good. Some of the main discoveries we've had at ISU on SDS have been related to how the pathogen toxin moves up the plant, where the fungus needs to be in the root so that toxin can move up. Germplasm with resistance to sudden death syndrome has been released and available now for seed companies to release commercial varieties. We have found that the soybean seedlings are most vulnerable to infection at very early stages, and that period of vulnerability is longer in cool soils. And one of the toxins of the pathogen has been characterized in detail also.